It was good. I didn't have to say a word, so I was happy about that.
Don't you love that?
Yeah,
Oh
man.
man.
Just had to show up and show face. You know what I mean? That's the kind of meeting I
Parent
wanted.
meetings for me in high school, or for me around high school kids, is, hey, you don't talk. I don't want to hear you yelling at the refs and making a scene. Um, don't yell at me. If you have an issue with it, your kid needs to come talk to me, not you. I don't do that. And if it's a big issue, then
Yeah.
okay, we can talk. Like if it's something outside of like playing time and why isn't my son playing, I'll be like, all right, yeah, we can talk. But if it's
Hmm.
that, no,
For
I'm
sure.
sorry. Teach your kid to come talk to me like a grown adult.
Yeah. Just have some accountability, and
Exactly.
we want to have some conversations with these young fellas.
My
So
parents made me do it, so I'm gonna make them do it.
that's exactly right. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to have those conversations this
No,
year. That'd be ideal.
no, yeah.
Um, we just got done with the Ali Rama from South Dakota Mines episode, and it was another good one.
Uh huh.
Like I said to him at the end, it was fun to get into his mindset a little bit, or kind of get some insight on that, because having him compete against you for 3 years on the coaching side of things, um, you could tell he was one of those guys that had that mindset of just that killer mentality.
Oh, like watching him in high school at Red Cloud. Out when we were in college, I was like, why isn't no one? Why are nobody like? Why is nobody trying to get this kid? Why is he still? You know what I mean? Like it just felt like
Mm,
why is he so overlooked? And I mean, I get it, but like, dude, there's so much. That kid was talented. I get he broke his ankle. He was leading the state in scoring his senior year.
mm. What were some of the things you took away from some of his answers, like the big takeaways? Because I got a couple of mine.
His mindset, like his mindset is exactly why he's gonna have a great year. He's
Mm,
like just locked into everything, and that's how
mm,
like it just seemed like he's ready to go. He's ready to get that ball tipped up the first game because he's put in the work. And what he talked about, like
mm.
how he talked about how he spent his last 2 summers, which you guys will find out. I mean, I think that's played a huge role into him
It's a
developing.
great point. It's a great point. Yeah, it's the thing for me obviously was the mindset and stuff, but like the other thing was his perspective of the process. Like he's really become in tune with the importance of, my game isn't going to change today. My game
Mm-hmm.
isn't going to change tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's over the course of stacking those days together where you really start to see that jump in your game, and it seems like he really like understands that.
100%. And that's like when I was the kids that I'm working out with, dude, they finally figured it out, and it's like, oh, that's why he was making me do all these things over and over and over again. You know, it's a process.
Mm,
I can't make you Steph. Everyone wants to be Steph Curry from 3 point line. I can't make you be Steph Curry from 3 point line in a day. Like that takes time, a lot of time and hours. And
mm.
he figured that out at a young age and
Yeah.
saw the growth.
Yeah, it sounds like that mindset that we've been talking about with him is um, kind of been ingrained in him from an early stage. Um, Man, I don't want to give away too much because
Mm-hmm.
it was good talking about everything with him. But the one thing I want to ask you is, um, are you sick of LeBron getting these dubs, and just really performing great in crunch time and really closing out games?
No,
Are you sick of that?
no, I'm really not, because here's the thing. Like it's game 4 or 5, and where you guys are having to use him for 30, 40 minutes to win games. Like, come on. It's not Laker basketball. They're not going to do well in the playoffs, you know. I just love and enjoy how the Warriors are playing right now. Um, Steph is on an
Do
MVP
not change the
caliber
subject, but
year, and he's doing
yeah,
things.
he is.
Oh, you know, someone said today this. Since you got me on this rant, You're 30, or Kendrick Perkins said it. You're 38. Your 38-year-old GOAT wasn't doing this. Yeah, well, the 38-year-old GOAT we talk about, he had 6 titles in 13 years. So this guy's going for number 5 in year 21. There's
Congratulations.
levels
All
to
right.
winning. Why is Tom Brady the GOAT? Because he leads everything and he won a lot, right?
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
you have to have
There's
both. You
and
can't
but
you can't
LeBron,
be
but
getting up here and then picking from the bottom. You got to do
I
both.
mean, four championships isn't winning a lot.
What did you say?
I said 4 championships isn't winning a lot.
In 10 tries, he does more losing than he does winning.
Yeah, but there are players that never even get to that point.
Oh, 100% understood. I get that, but I just cannot. I can't put 4-6 over 6-0. I can't, or even 5-2. I'm sorry, dude.
Hey, I'll just say this. I wanted to rally you up a little bit because
If
I've been seeing the Twitter things, and
dude, that Shendy guy is the worst.
I wanted to see how much or how red and how much your heart rate
This
elevated when I brought up
since the
the
start
topic
of
of
the
LeBron James.
2018-2019 seasons, players and the number of teams they've played for has LeBron 2, Kawhi PG 2, KD Kyrie 3, CP 3, Harden 4. And he's like, but sure, LeBron is criticized for the team hopping, right? Bro, look at their whole career. He's been to 3 different franchises, got traded 3 times, so really 4 different teams. Kawhi and PG played for 3 different franchises. Like, come on, in their whole career. I don't like put all the context into it. Stop hiding facts.
Right, but Harden, I
The
think the point
CP3 and all
was
those guys, like I don't, dude. James Harden's dead to me.
Bush's strong feelings towards NBA players is just classic. I love it. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. So you count him going from Miami back to Cleveland is playing for another franchise
Yes,
technically, even he would
yes,
go as okay,
yes.
okay,
Because it was, I mean, yeah, it's the same team. It's just, but the whole setting was different. Like when they went
right. But
back,
he was switching
they built that
franchises.
team. Yeah, he was switching
Yeah,
franchises
no,
at
I
the end of
get
the
you.
day.
I mean,
Um,
he switched franchises 4 times
mm-hmm,
in a 21-year career.
mm-hmm.
I mean, come
Hey
on,
man,
man, that ain't that
I
bad.
can give you 3 people who have 4+ rings that have never switched franchises.
Cool. All right. Cool.
And
He switched 4 times.
when number 30 gets his 5th, conversations will start being had on
Do
on
you
on
think that's this year?
Wardelius being better than
Ordelius
LeBron
Maximus.
James.
Yeah. I mean,
I won't be afraid to
I
have
think
those
that's
conversations.
true. It's the same with Kobe because he has more championships. Like the people that think Kobe's the GOAT and all that type of stuff. A lot of times, it's because for one, he has more championships and whatever else. But
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, if Steph does that and gets more championships than LeBron,
Stats. I mean,
it's
stats are
that
important.
argument is going to be made.
Stats are important, but like winning plays a big role to me too. And I get that's a stat as well, but like individual stats. So this makes me laugh every time I hear it. So individual stats are like a bikini; it hides all the good stuff. Like, show me the winning stuff as well, right? Like,
Who said that?
I cannot remember. It's oh my god, it's off
Oh,
of
that's
some
funny.
show, some sports show. Some guy said it, and I died. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny because it was true. I'm like, yeah,
That's
I mean,
good.
stats only tell you part of the story,
I'm gonna have to remember that one for my coaching days.
right? I'm gonna pull that one out one day.
All right, people. Let's
That's
get you
it.
to the show with
Yep.
Alejandro Rama
Yep.
from South Dakota Mines. It's
Yep.
a
Peace.
fantastic episode. Enjoy. Last time we're praying for quality audio.
Yeah,
I see you
no,
got the what are the things on your legs called, bro?
Oh, can you hear him going?
No, I just saw you had them on the legs. So
Yeah, you have ours are called the air relaxes, but yeah.
we didn't. Do you do that all the time after your workouts?
Not too much, but when I'm kind of feeling it, starting to feel my legs going away, I try to get on them.
Yeah, I
I usually
never.
stretch every night though to
Yeah,
keep it with my legs.
I never have tried any of those air boots or whatever they are. I don't know what
Uh
those
huh.
things are, but they seem to work wonders.
do you prefer that over an ice bath?
Yeah, definitely. I'll do an ice bath if I'm like really, really, really hurting, but no, if anything, I'll just get on the air boots, and they say it works just as good. That's what my trainers told me, so that's enough for me.
That's fair.
People that enjoy ice baths are psychopaths, in my opinion, because it is like you got to go to a level of pain. I feel like in an ice bath, it's like
No, the people that are
absurd
psychos are the ones that do the ice bath outside in like the wintertime and they just throw the weight in
in the
the
pond.
pool and it
Yeah,
just like breaks the ice. I'm like, yo, you're crazy. That's different.
that's funny.
Hmm.
Yeah, year 5. Um, you're probably getting real into the more body maintenance side of things. So I remember my last couple years, it was like, oh man, I realize how important this is now.
Yeah, I'm definitely there. This last past year, like I've really tried to focus on my body, getting it ready, and I'm still like, I thought I was as ready as could be this year to start the season, and these first couple weeks, I'm still feeling really beat down already.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's that if I didn't prepare enough, or if that might be the age kind of starting to get to me now. And I think that might be it. I didn't really think about it too much,
I
It
but
kind of sneaks up on you, kind of sneaks
yeah.
up, and then it'll get you, and then you kind of realize, oh, I need to take this stuff a little more serious. I've been there too, man. I was there my senior year too.
You had glass
Mm.
ankles, Hills.
What's crazy, I always say this, like the team shoes that we always get were
Uh
like high
huh.
tops.
Uh huh.
In the shoes that are supposed to protect you from ankle issues more, I've had the most ankle issues with. And then I'll get like a pair of low top shoes and, tape up and stuff, and I'll be good to go
It's
and
because you
never
don't.
roll it.
It's because you don't tighten them. Like you're not used to having that support around the ankle. It's like low tops were the thing when Kobe introduced them.
Yeah, they did kind of become a thing then. Let's introduce our guest. Very excited for this one. Um, I know he terrorized me when South Dakota Mines was our scout. So we're excited to have Alejandro Rama from South Dakota School of Mines with us today.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here.
I
Yeah,
was
man.
gonna.
We go ahead, Bush.
No, go. What were you gonna say? I was gonna get right into a question, but I don't think you were.
Go for it. Go for it,
No,
dude.
I was like, I'm curious just because like your path to college is a lot different than most other kids. Obviously, like you grew up on the reservation, so it's dealing with sacred hoops and stuff. Like I've learned, like it's a different. It's different. It's harder for them to get noticed. It's harder for you guys to get noticed. You know what I mean? So it's like how can you just kind of like explain like how that was for you growing up and like getting to where you are now.
It was different for sure because, well, like the Pioneer Reservation, it's all the games that we played except for our rivals. Everything's like 60 minutes,
Hmm.
hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So, like even for news is like Rapid City Journal or something, to cover our games, they have to travel all the way down there, or we have to be playing up here. So, I think part of it, like people not really knowing too much about me in my high school years, was just about like they couldn't really hear about me, or you had to watch me play or know someone that played me in order to kind of really know about me.
Yep.
So I think that was one thing. Um, and yeah, and it was just different for me. It was all fuel. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like it. I knew that it was there was other factors that were playing into why I wasn't being seen
Yeah.
because I knew I was a good basketball
Hmm.
player. But for me, I would just see those things, and I'm like, okay, I got to work more. I got to work harder. it's just keep going, and that's kind of been my mindset always, is just kind of keep pushing regardless of what's happening.
Yeah, I think JMO's the
Yeah,
one that told us about you when we were all in college. That's
I was literally just about to say that.
oh,
I've
great
known
minds.
about you, Ale, I remember I first got to Concordia when I was a GA, and I don't know if JMO was still at Black Hills or he had moved on back to his coaching world, but he was like, "Hey, man, I don't know what your recruiting situation is, but I know Alejandro Rama, he can really go." So I've been hearing, and then he hit me up when I was at Minot about you, and so I've known about you. And then once I got back to the RMAC, it was awesome to see what you've become, especially with your college career and how like you become a killer, man. Like I can't even lie. You were one of those guys where like if South Dakota Mines was my scout, I was like, guys, please, this guy, if we let him get a couple easy ones, like get into the cup and he start getting in his shit a little bit, it's gonna be a long night. And it's cool to see where you've come from kind of when I first started hearing about you when I was in college.
Mm-hmm. And it feels good to
What
get to that point too, because
yeah.
I felt the growth too. Over the past year, every single year I've played, I've just kept getting better.
Mm,
So, I know that I'm that threat now. And kind of when you first come in, you don't really have that confidence or anything. But now that I'm really in, like even last year, I really had that chip on my shoulder, and then this year more than ever,
mm,
I'm kind of solidified and confident in myself that I know that like I'm gonna be a problem, and so now I feel like I'm just more settled into
Hmm.
that kind of
I got two
mindset.
questions for you. One, what was kind of the point, or was there a moment or a kind of a stretch of games when you realized the college level could be a thing for you, and you were a good high school player, obviously, but there are good high school players that don't end up going to college. So, what was that point where you were like, okay, I could play at the college level? And then the second part of that question is, when you got to the college level, what was that point at the college level where you were like, okay, now I'm a scoring threat that guys are really going to have to game plan for every game?
Mm-hmm. I've been confident from the start. I feel like that's kind of my mindset and why I succeed and am able to attack the way that I do is because I'm just so confident in the player that I am, and a lot of that's because of the work that I put in, and
Mm-hmm.
But as a freshman, I would say as a freshman when I came in, I started playing right away, and I played under a senior point guard who was a killer. His name's Alec Williams. He was whatever first team all
Mm-hmm.
conference. He was a killer. He's super fast, and I had to go up against him every single day my freshman year. And so, like after getting through the first beginning of the season, getting adjusted a little bit, competing with him every day, we went and played in Texas, and then I think it was like our second or third game. I had like 17 points, and it felt like a comfortable 17. It wasn't like I was really
Mm-hmm.
trying to get after it or anything. And so, like really from the start, I was like, okay, this like I belong here. I could compete with Alec every day, who's the top guy, even if even if he's faster than me or this or that. I still have some years to grow. I can still work at it, and then so yeah, I would say from the start since my freshman year, and really, I think it was like the COVID year is when I really got super confident about my scoring abilities. Some teams were out, but that year we had like a really good season. We finished out some big games. Just had a really good. That's probably my best season that I've had since we've been here, or since I've been here. And that year I did good. I didn't. It wasn't really that I was a scoring threat, but I knew that I could score, and I knew that I could, make the plays that needed to be happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I
yeah, it's
agree.
always kind of been my mindset.
Yeah, you brought up how going against somebody like that every day in practice, that is such a great point of like you really see what you're made of day in and day out, but also you see over time. It's not necessarily right away, but over time, you go against somebody like that every day. You're like, oh, I'm learning how to defend this guy, or I'm learning how to score on this dude, and so you start to see your game evolve without even really knowing
Mm-hmm. So yeah, shout out Alec for that because and like you said, seeing that game evolve because at the start I was really just getting busted. I couldn't keep up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get my shot off. Wasn't comfortable. But yeah, when you see that growth and you actually really start competing, even more and more, and that gap gets tighter.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's where it's at.
So I have a question for you. This just dawned on me as I just realized this. So we had Trevor on here last, and he also got coached in high school by his dad. You got coached in high school by your dad. Um, talk about that, like, because I know that's a hard relationship. Because once, like, at the end of the day, that's your dad. Like, that's family, right? But talk about how on the court it's coach, and then off the court you can it's more like dad.
Mm-hmm. So my dad, he actually didn't coach me in high
Oh, he
school.
didn't.
He coached me from he coached me probably from like first to eighth grade.
Okay.
So he's been coaching me the whole entire time. But when I got to high school, he was like, "Yeah, I can't do it. Like I'm gonna
That's
do it."
fair.
He didn't want to. He wanted to kind of separate the coaching and the dad part. So he just started. That's when he started getting into. He coached at Shadron for a year, and then
That's right.
started getting into girls coaching. But having him as a coach that's really that's one of the biggest reasons I am who I am. He's coached me since I was little, so like I even from back then, like I used to have I'm really competitive.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember playing in like second grade, third grade tournaments, and I would like pass the ball to my teammate, and they don't catch it because it was like they could have caught it, but it was like kind of a bad pass, and I'd be like, God dang it, like catch the ball! I'd be getting so mad, like, and my dad would take me out, chew me out, like, no, you got to talk to him better. That's your fault. You got to trying to teach me how to take the accountability on me. And like how to be a leader, how to talk to people, certain people. You got to talk to certain people a certain way. Not everybody could be led the same way. So he was really big in teaching me that and just being tough. That's why I'm really scrappy player. Is that I always go hard. He would never let me like let up or kind of give up at all.
What were some of the things, because Trevor touched on this a little bit too, what were some of the things he really focused on with you basketball wise, like with your skill development and stuff like that? What were the kind of things he really honed in on early on?
He honest, so he didn't really do too much with me. He's like I've always been like a gym rat. He's coached high school basketball when I was little, so I was always in the gym with him. And so he would like really just give me workouts, like some ball handling drills. You shoot, a certain amount of shots from here. So he didn't really give me a lot of stuff as I got older, but when I was younger, I kind of learned how to make my own workout. And so really after that, our relationship was more about like I would go get the work in myself, get my shots up. I knew what to do. I knew how to get my ball handling workout in. I was innovative and would try new things. And then really like our relationship with the basketball stuff was just like me going and talking to him about, what do you think about this, or kind of how I would see the game. And so like I feel like me and him like we're both kind of like coach in our like relationship and not really coach player. Because like we go and I talk to him about like just how he sees the game, what's your flow, what did you see, So it's more about like that or like little things that I could have done. So yeah, I feel like it's more about like thinking the game with him, how we kind of go about it, rather than him being like hands on with the sport with me.
Okay. That's interesting to hear, and that's cool to hear that it was more to him about you learning how to play the game and kind of him teaching you that side of it and letting you handle getting your basketball done, like on the floor type stuff. It was more on the IQ side of the game. That's cool. And I feel like it reflects in your style of play.
Yeah, that's one thing too, is like I'm happy that it was that way, because through it I've kind of like created my own basketball workouts. I have my own routines that I've gone through and I've kind of honed over the years, added different things, cut different things out. So I've kind of perfected how I work out now. But how it all started was just like me thinking the game and then thinking how I could transfer my workouts to like how I play or how I wanted to play. And so that's like just been my biggest growth, is thinking, or because some people will go and do workouts that ain't really specific to them, or something that they might not use. But
that is facts.
but me working out that way and working out by myself, kind of really thinking the game, what I would use, what I might not use, that kind of has really, I feel like, helped me grow the most within like without as much work. I don't know. I wouldn't say as much work, but has helped me really just
No, I
big
get what
jump.
you mean. I get what you mean for
You know,
sure.
year after year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So what, since there's just so much talent on the Pine Ridge Reservation, because I just see it all the time, like refing the tournament at the box. Like there's just so much like that is just, what do they call it? Like finding a needle in a haystack. Like there's just gems out there, that people do not know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are obviously very looked up to in that community. What is your message to the kids and stuff, just to like help them get to that next level, when they may think like they're being overlooked, or they're not getting the same opportunity as others?
I would say just keep working. Like that was one thing my dad would even tell me, because I would show him those, like a lot of things that I've seen of other guys getting looked at, getting offers or whatever. But he's always just telling me to keep my head down, keep working. You know, because at the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Facts.
Mm.
And I feel like you even see, like, you see it too when you go to the tournament at the
Yeah,
box. There's different types of style of play, but at the end of the day, it's just basketball. So if
exactly.
you put in the work, if you're putting your time in towards your craft, towards your body, and just keep your head down, keep trying to figure it out, because there's gonna be challenges that arise. Not everything's gonna be perfect. There's gonna be a bad game, a few bad games maybe. But it's just about, you got to keep working, got to keep just trusting in the process and believing in yourself. Keeping that confidence. And I feel like working, or for me anyways, putting in the work and making sure my skills are, top tier is what kind of helps me keep my confidence.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of people in that position will, lose their confidence when they see that other people are, getting that recognition or whatever. But just keep your confidence, keep working, and it's gonna work out.
I like that.
Comparison is the thief of joy, is what our friend JJ Redick always says. So I completely agree with this fact that, like, if you're sitting there comparing, exposure or whatever, and that's your focus, you ain't gonna get where you want to go. Like, the focus has to be on you and what you can do better, and the other things will take care of itself. So that's Bush, we're gonna need to clip that one.
For
That's
sure.
a good one right there.
Yeah, because, and like for me, because when I was little, like I've always been like a hooper, playing basketball. It's always been my thing. But I used to be really slow, you know, like really slow in high school, which is probably hard to believe. But like my freshman year, I was really slow. Oh my god! And then I broke my ankle my sophomore year, so that didn't really help me with my speed. But year after year, I just kept working, and then you kind of, that's when like, it doesn't really happen overnight, but you start to see,
Yeah.
yourself elevate, your game elevate. And that's, I feel like you just got to be patient with yourself. That's really what I'd want kids to know, is being patient with yourself and trusting that it's going to happen, because it will.
Facts. That's what I've been telling. I have two kids actually here in Sundance, that finally the light bulb is all the way screwed on. Like they finally figured everything out. You know what I mean? And it's like they're about to have a good year. And it, like, to me, it felt good, because I kept saying the same thing, and they'd get frustrated. I'm like, yo, just keep big picture. Like, big picture. It's gonna suck right now, but big picture. And finally, one day, like, I was watching them play, and I'm like, yo, you guys figured it out, huh? They're like, yeah, I don't know. Just the other day at open gym, like, we were playing well together, and then it just all clicked. I was like, see, that's all it takes.
Yep, that's the best feeling. That's really the best feeling, that work, pays off.
Do you you to me have, like, I want to say, like, a basketball trainer's mindset, but more importantly, honestly, a basketball coach's mindset. Do you have thoughts of, like, when it's all said and done, the ball ain't bouncing for you anymore, hopping
No,
into coaching or
We lost
training in
him.
some form
this
or
is gonna
fashion?
happen again. He'll come back. There he is.
Oh yeah, there he is.
What was the last
Oh
part of the question?
no!
What was the last part of the question?
Do you have
Oh my lord.
thoughts? Did I
Tate,
go out again?
You need to fix your Wi-Fi.
Gotta get that Ethernet.
You,
No.
buddy. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Tate still hasn't figured
Am
out
I back? Am I
his
back?
Wi-Fi. Yeah, you're back now. We see you.
Okay. Do you have like ambitions, or have you ever thought about like hopping into the training or the coaching world?
Oh, definitely. I'm already kind of getting my toes into the training world. I've ever since I was little, so when I was little, like when my dad was kind of coaching me, so like probably fourth grade, first to fourth grade, he would always hold like these basketball camps, and I would always attend them, just because he was holding them. So I'd be at all of his basketball camps that he'd do on the res, just for kids to have something to do, give them, a place to learn. And so over the years, I've really just picked up all of the drills that he does, and then I started doing them in high school at this thing that we have called Little Satyrs. And it's like where we, after practice, we'd have like a 5 to 7 practice, and then after practice at 7, we do like an hour workout with the little kids at Red Cloud.
Okay.
And they started that. My dad started that when he first got to Red Cloud to kind of, really start to build a program, because that's what it takes for a school to be good. Is you gotta start low, you gotta build your program up, and so that's what he did. So I grew up in all of that, going to those workouts, and then once I got to high school, I started doing the workouts. So I would run little satyrs for the little kids after practice, after school. And then my senior year, I started like kind of doing doing camps on my own. So I had a friend on a different reservation, and I would go to his res, and we would do a camp together. And then he would come to my res, and some of the other players I know would come help me do a camp. So I've kind of just been keeping pushing with that. And I recently started this thing called like Warrior Mindset Basketball.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is, yep. So I've been doing camps on a bunch of different reses: Cheyenne Eagle Butte, Pine Ridge, up here in Rapid. We just got done doing one here at School of Mines.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so just trying to give back to the kids. I know a lot about the game, how to work out, and so and it's really easy for me. I have a lot of younger siblings, so it's really easy for me to talk to kids, interact with kids, and especially when it comes to basketball, like that makes it even easier. So yeah, the whole training stuff, I'm not saying that it'll be something that I'm like super seriously into. I'm not, like, I can't tell if that'll be, but I'm for sure going to be doing something basketball, whether it's coaching, training.
Do you plan on going overseas?
So that's definitely
cool.
The plan.
Plan A.
Yep, plan A is overseas. I got connected with some people this past summer the past few summers when I went to Portland to play. And so I've gotten some good connections out there. I know a few guys that are playing overseas, and going out there, I was even able to kind of solidify and build even more confidence in myself and who I am, because I kind of got to put kind of place myself up against them, and they were really cool about it too. Like after they got to see me play in the pro-am, or even at the runs that I would go to, the college runs or private runs that I would go check out. Guys were showing me love. They respected how I played. They would want me on their team, and so like doing that and then being able to like play good in that environment too, like just proved to me that I was like, oh yeah, like I belong anywhere in the basketball world. I belong.
Because you play with some dudes, huh? I heard
I played with,
about some of that.
Yeah, it was really cool. Mike, I played with Mike James. He's like killing in the EuroLeague. And he was like the first year I played. So I played 2 summers ago in the Pro-Am, and like they kind of just gotta like I kind of hustled it. Mike James was having this basketball camp, and his like I don't know, his manager or whatever, he posted it on his Instagram, and I was like, could I come like just check it out? Like I just wanted to see Mike, because Mike's like one of my favorite players, him and Kyrie. So I was like, I just want to see Mike. Like, can I come check out the camp? So they're like, yeah, come swing by. He's really cool. And so I pull up to the camp, and then they pretty much start having me. It's a high school camp, and then they start having me help out. So it's like a 4-day camp. Okay. And so the first day I was helping out, and he's like, yeah, come back tomorrow. So I came back, was helping out with the camp. So yeah, I was there all 4 days, kind of, and that's just kind of how it happened that, I do basketball training and am able to work with kids like that. So it's cool that it worked out that way. But after that, they had some runs, and I got to run with them. And they were like, okay, yeah, you could hoop, pull up to the first weekend of Pro-Am. And I had a really, really good weekend that first weekend, because like all the pros were gone. They were like at the summer league game. So I actually got to like get some shots off. They weren't hogging the ball, because Mike James be pulling, but So yeah, that first weekend I got to get some shots. So and I had a good weekend, and then yeah, Mike James and the all the pros come back to the league or to the summer league, and it was different. Like they would kind of fill me out. They knew that I was a shooter, and I kind of just played my role. I had to change my role. It wasn't the type of role I'd play here where I'm super ball heavy. I would just sprint to corners, get ready to be a spot up shooter, and that's really what I was. I'd fill the lanes, play hard, get up and play full court D, like just do what I can.
The
And
fundamental
then
way, essentially.
yeah, yep. I was just trying I was just happy to be there. And so it was like that was all good. It was a good year. It was a great experience for me, and I was super geeked off of it. And then I go back this last summer, kind of knowing what to expect, and I was ready to go. And from the start, it was cool because like Mike James, he knew me from the past year, and so like this past summer, he was just like looking for me. He was like every single time finding me like on some crazy passes, just diming me up. And so like going back and like looking at it, I was like, dang, like he was like really like just finding me, knowing that I could shoot, playing with me, not playing iso ball, because I've seen him like the summer before that where he would just do his own thing, really try to get a bucket, and he could do that, but he was like actually like playing with me, knowing that he could hoop with me. So I was like, okay, like if he has that confidence in me, like I know I could do it.
What was the
So it was cool.
biggest what was the biggest thing that like you noticed with those high level guys? Like the biggest difference that they had in their game that might separate them to be those pros?
Shooting off the dribble for sure. That's one, and then their bodies. That's another.
Mm.
Is that their bodies are at another level where like they're just super strong, super balanced, extremely balanced. I'd say
Ooh,
that's one thing, is they're extremely balanced.
I love hearing that.
Like even they get to tough looks or awkward positions, they'll still, just get up and down with their shot. So where it looks like a crazy shot, but it's still really fundamental. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like I feel like that's really the difference, is where they do like little fundamentals like that really good.
I think
Even if
balance
it's like subtle, you might
I
not
think
notice it.
balance is one of those like very important fundamentals that I think goes by the wayside sometimes. Like people forget to talk about how important it is, especially on offense, to always be on balance and to be playing with a great center of gravity.
hmm I feel like especially like off the shot. I
Hmm.
feel like that's more than anything, is people will overlook that. The balance on your shot, trying to always stay just straight up and
Hmm.
down. I feel like that's something that I try to focus on a little bit.
Yeah, because even if your momentum's carrying you a certain direction, you can still get back to square and back to on balance. Like, ain't no
Mhm.
reason to be shooting these MJ fadeaways, man.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's not your game.
Kids don't understand that. They can shoot that because, like you said, they're on balance. They've done that a million times in the gym when no one's watching.
Yeah, those fadeaways, like, because I have a little fadeaway shot myself that I get to, and even though it's like a fadeaway, like you're moving directly away from the basket,
Hmm.
and you're not moving away out of like uncontrollable, like where you're just really jumping away from the basket. You're moving away, nice and balanced, nice and controlled.
It's to
So I
just
feel like
create
that's
a little
like,
separation, just to create that
yeah, yep.
separation.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's not really like it's an off balance
Yeah,
shot. Like the shot's still balanced.
yeah.
It's
Hmm.
just that separation, getting that angle.
Well, especially like, what are you, 6 foot, 6'1"?
Yeah, 6 foot, 6'1". I'll take either one.
Yeah, 6'1". Yeah, let's just put it at 6'1". And I would consider that in today's world like maybe a smaller guard. Um, But as like a smaller guard, you have to learn to create separation a little bit more on your shot, especially when you got a dude that's super long and athletic. I can't go straight up and down and just shoot that thing. Sometimes I got to have a little lean in my shot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Or you got to get it off quick.
Hmm.
So, speaking of that, so on going off that, what's kind of we touched on this before we press record, but like, what's your goals this year? Like, it's your last year, fifth year. What's kind of the goal for you individually on one end, because you have individual goals, and then on the other end, the team aspect.
My Individual goals, I just want to play well. Like I know what I'm capable of, and I want to just like keep growing every year like I've been doing. So last year, whatever, I averaged almost 20, like 5 rebounds, 3 assists, something like that. And then the year before that was like 15, something, something. So like I just want to. That's my goal, is just to keep moving forward. It doesn't really matter. I'm not hitting no specific.
Yep.
I'm not trying to score 25 points a game or whatever. I just want to keep improving my numbers, my efficiency. That's really just the overall goal for myself. Because the main goal is more team oriented, which is just to win.
Yep.
Like I really just want to win this year, because I know we're capable of it, and yeah, I'm ready for it. So my main goal is really just to win. I think we're going to be like a top 3 team. I know that we have whatever 4 teams in the top 25 or whatever, but I think that once the season gets rolling, we're going to be one of the top 3 teams, top 4 teams. Shooting
Okay.
for that home player.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I
I
love that
love hearing
confidence,
that.
man. That's awesome because let's be real. People look down on South Dakota School of Mines. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not like a hidden thing. People, it's an open conversation within the league, right? So having that type of confidence for your team, I love that. Like, hey, let's go win. Who cares what these guys think?
Yeah, yep, that's fine. And exactly like whatever the 11th, I think we got placed, whatever, in the preseason, like 10 or 11.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
preseason to
it's
me
all just,
I
yeah,
feel like
exactly. It's whatever.
You guys always, at least since I've been around and you've been around, you've always finished higher than you were projected or higher than you were picked, in the
yeah,
league. So I think you guys always overachieve according to the preseason rankings or whatever, but I'm sure you guys are sitting there like, no, we got more in the tank. Like we can be better than this, even though we
Yeah.
projected higher.
Yep, that's just been the story of how it's been here at Mines. I've had other, my freshman year I became ineligible, so I didn't get to finish the season. Last year I didn't get to start the season until halfway through. So I've had like different things kind of affecting the basketball end of things, and because it's those games matter. The games at the beginning of the season matter. How where you get
yep,
placed, seeding, all of those things. So I'm just really ready to put in a full year of showing what we're capable of. Because like last year I don't know, we finished 9th or 10th seed, around right there. We were right in the running to try to get 8. But yeah, we finished there and we competed with all like the top 4 teams we were beating going into the last 10 minutes of the second half.
yeah.
So like Colorado Mines, Colorado Mesa, Fort Lewis, we had all of those guys like on the ropes last year, and I think like my coach has been throwing it at us all. Like, he threw it at us all last year that like the point difference of our games was like 1.5. So we're losing each game by 2 point, 1 basket, 1 possession, whether that's a turnover here, whatever that 1 possession is. That's that means, but that's just how close it is at the college level too. But that also shows like how close that we are of being one of them top teams.
Yes, yes.
We had
Yeah,
that conversation with Deshaun earlier this week from Pueblo, because they kind of have past few years have been like you guys, where they're fighting to get into that 7-8 spot, going to the last couple weekends. And he said the same thing. It makes you realize some of those games you lose by 1 possession, those add up, and it can be the difference between you making the tournament and not, and you don't realize it at the time.
yeah.
We've all been there. We've all experienced that. I experienced that my first year at Western. We were the hottest team in the RMAC to end the year. We were on like a 6-7 game win streak, and like missed out on 1 game because like a couple possessions earlier in the year that we could have won a conference game, and it was like we really truly felt, and it's probably a biased opinion, but truly felt that we could have went in and made some noise in the tournament as an underseed because we were playing so well at that point. But like you said,
I remember
one
that.
possession is so much. It just 1 game like it defines a win or a loss at the end of the day. You could turn it over trying to get that last shot down 1, and you didn't get an opportunity to get the ball up.
So yeah, so like this year, it's like being through that. I've been through that, being in that position too many years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of being in that position of trying to fight for that 8 seed. So like these first few weeks, or the first few weeks of practice, that's what I've been like, just trying to make sure that we're on top of things from the start, so that we're not giving up them games early in the year, that we should be winning, or that we wish that we could have got back or could have done things differently. So I've been really focused on trying to make sure that we're handled and ready to go at the start of the year, so that we're not trying to fight things back and trying to fight for a spot.
No, I like that. We've asked that question to every single person, and we've had all upperclassmen, and they all you guys say about the same thing. All revolves around, I just want to win, dude. I don't care about anything else. I just want to win. And because games become numbers, like your games are numbers now. I had this conversation with Jalen McLeod from Western. He was like, he posted something. I'm like, hey, bro, like, understand, like, enjoy every moment this year because it's a number now, and you never know what happens after this. Like, you got to enjoy this moment.
I got a question for
And although
you.
it isn't like,
Go ahead. My bad. Sorry.
I'm enjoying the moment. I want to push, but I'm confident that I'm not going to be done with basketball. I feel like I'm going to for sure go have a good career overseas, and that's what I want to do, is go enjoy that experience. But yeah, this is the time. You know what I mean? This is to end my college career. Like those kind of questions. How do I want to end? Those are the things that I'm asking.
And that's more or less where I was directing it to for you.
I got a question. We're both BH alums. So I gotta ask you about this. What's the beautiful thing about the rivalry between Black Hills and South Dakota Mines to you, in your opinion?
To me, I just love how different we all are. Like, I feel like that's what makes the rivalry so like sweet, is that we're just like polar opposites. We're different ends of the spectrum. So yeah, it's easy to hate on someone that's different than you or not like you, and that's what I feel like just makes our rivalry kind of the best.
It never
like
fails,
even,
man.
Like even me being here, like I don't feel like I'm like one of the smartest here. But when I think about like some BH people, I'm like, oh yeah, like, I'm a nerd. Y'all ain't got nothing. Like, you know what I mean? So,
hey, that's fair. I respect it. Own it.
And you know what? Like, if there wasn't some animosity towards Black Hills on your end, I would be concerned about you, because there's certainly animosity on my end for South Dakota Mines, and that's nothing to do with certainly you by any means or anybody. It's just when you step into a rivalry like that, one that's been around for a long time and is like a serious rivalry, it just like happens. You just kind of get that, like, man, I can't stand South Dakota Mines, or I can't stand Black Hills,
Yep. That mindset starts to really jump good to you.
It does. Like, I remember like, we would take football games so serious. I lost a tooth in the mines.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we took the lead. It was Sullivan was the quarterback, I think, and then
was that the Toga game?
It was at BH. No, it wasn't the Toga game. That was my first year, but this one was like my last year before I graduated. Me and Buddy, we took the lead finally. We were down like 22-3 or something like that. I don't know, but BH took the lead, and I like tried to chest bump Bradley, and his helmet smacked my tooth, and I just remember I heard it, and then I spit it out, and I was like, oh shit, like, where's my tooth? I went up to Michaela McKennis at BH, and I was like, hey bro, how bad is it? And I like showed him like this, and he was like, his face, I was like, oh my god. And I was like, no way. And then I put my tongue, I was like, yeah, it's gone. That thing's gone. Some cheerleader found it on the track, put it in some water, got it fixed the next 2 days later. But Lord, I'll never do that. I'll never do that again.
That's clutch.
It was though. So it did it come out did it come out as a chunk, or did it like break up into pieces?
Big chunk. It was just a big chunk. Yeah. I got lucky. So I got lucky it didn't like come
When
out
I
in
broke my
pieces.
tooth, it came out into like little pieces. It was like sandpaper in my mouth. It was disgusting.
Oh dang.
It's not fun. I will say that.
I want to.
Oh,
You're a hoop head. It seems just from this conversation. Um, your early thoughts on the NBA season so far?
It's all exciting. I haven't watched too much of it,
Yeah,
honestly, to start, but yeah, it's the start of the year. It's exciting, but more than anything, I'm just focused on,
yeah. You ain't even
I'm
worried
putting
about
all
the
me,
NBA.
you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not too worried about how they're starting. I like that the weather's getting colder, basketball's getting on the TV, it's starting to feel like basketball season a little bit. So more than anything, that's what I like. That's what I like, the feeling that, that anticipation of the season just kind of right around the corner.
who's your favorite player? Who, who's
Kyrie.
okay? Oh, you said that. You said that. And Mike
Yep.
James.
Kyrie easily. Kyrie and Mike James, yeah.
Have you?
And I've got both of them, so
I was gonna
that's
say, does
cool.
Oh
he come
yeah.
out to Pine Ridge?
Yeah, so he came out. I met him like my sophomore year of college. It was like on a Tuesday or something. I had class, and then he like randomly pulled up to the reservation. I was like, oh yeah, no way. Like I
I'm
dipped
out.
out. Went down to the
Yeah.
bay. Went down to the bay. Went seen him. So yeah, I went and met him. Challenged him to play 1-on-1. So
I
he
love
said
that.
nah, but yeah, shot. So it was cool. And then he came back down again this past summer. So I don't know if he's making it a every year thing, but he loves the native community. I think his mom or something
Uh-huh.
was reservation or part
And
native.
that's
So
you're talking about Kyrie right now.
yeah, yep,
So
Kyrie.
does Mike James have ties to a reservation in the United States, or is he?
None. I don't think so. He's just from Portland.
Oh, okay.
I have some family out in Portland, and that's kind of how I got out there. So I just went and stayed on my cousin's couch for the summer. Stayed out there, worked, played basketball.
Hmm.
So
Got
yeah,
good
I
And
just
then
kind of met
Mike
competition.
them
James.
being out there. Yeah, great competition. It's a basketball community out there,
Hmm.
so a lot of outdoor hooping, a lot of
Yeah.
outdoor hooping, double rings.
Um,
I want to ask you this. This is the last one I got for you. That big tournament on I think it might be the Pine Ridge Reservation. I can't remember what it's called, but Falcon Alvarez plays in it all the time. Bush, do you know what I'm talking about?
there's a bunch.
It's like
There's
some
a
big.
bunch.
It's like a
Yeah,
They
big.
like
they have a
to
bunch
be
of
honest
different
with you,
ones.
What?
there's so
Name a
many.
couple of them. Name a couple of them, because it'll ring a
Mm-hmm.
Because
bell when.
you can make like dudes make money off those things. Like there's like
Yeah.
that's like a like its own little tour to on. Am I wrong? Like, but it seems
Yeah,
like it's
kind
its
of.
own little
Yeah.
tour.
Mm-hmm. So like there is one tournament on our reservation. It's like the Ori Brown
Mm,
Memorial Tournament.
Mm,
So yeah, that's for like it's for money, and then they just get their teams in, and then pretty much like all like there's so much different
yeah.
reservations. Really, especially in the Midwest,
yeah.
that like all of these reservations will kind of hold their own tournaments at like different times, and so yeah, once in the summer, mainly in the summer, and then like the spring, they start to have those tournaments for money. So
Mm.
Okay.
Have
yeah,
you
those are kind of just like all over.
have you ever won any of those? I'm sure you have at some point.
Uh-uh.
Oh, really?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not
Time's
yet.
coming.
But yep, time's coming. And that's what, like natives hoop, and you'd be surprised. Like playing like in those tournaments, there's like some old heads
Oh,
that
Can
yeah.
go.
they don't have to do too much. They don't have to be the fastest. They don't have yeah, but they know how to use their body. They know how to play well together. They're really patient for their shots.
Like you
Hmm.
know who I think of
So
is Jess Hart. Like
just
he's
just
he's
hard.
just older now. Like you know what I mean. He was probably
Yeah.
different when he was younger, but he's so much older now. He can just sit there, jab step, jab step. All right, shoot it, gas. I was like, I'd never seen him
Hmm.
play until that tournament at the box, and I was like, this man can hoop. Like this guy can go.
Yeah, and that tournament at the box was like a small
Yeah,
one. It felt like
it was.
I've been to some big ones where it's like the championship games are tight, and then there's no shot clock, so they're like patient,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a bunch of old heads. So like they don't really have no ego. Like they're not trying to get their own. So like they feel like they don't have a look, then they'll kick it out, let someone else. They're moving it. It's like really good
Hmm.
basketball. like really, really good basketball. So it's like those tournaments are pretty tough. You gotta have a good squad, a good complete squad that plays together, has good chemistry, could hit shots, make plays.
I think that's an awesome
So yeah,
thing that that community does is just embraces basketball in that way and kind of like you said has all those tournaments all over the place that it seems like a lot of the native community like is really they're aware of what's going on in these other communities like that, like if it's a basketball tournament or whatever's going on, it seems that that connection's there.
for sure. They are really connected, and that's like basketball's. Yeah, and it's like they're connected, but like basketball's one big thing that really brings them together.
Yep.
And that's like something like for my whole res especially is like I grew up playing against this from first grade all the way up until high school. Like Pine Ridge's team, my senior year, they're really good. They were like a top team in the state. But I played against that whole team since I was little. And so, like, basketball, even though it was, like, rivalry the whole time, like, basketball just kept us close, and now it's, like, all cool. We're friends. You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
So, it's all thanks to basketball and just and our love for the basketball, the shared love that a lot of natives and the native community has for it.
That's good. Shoot, Hilks, I got nothing else. I don't.
This has been fantastic.
I know it's already 8. He's just got out of a workout, probably hungry.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Well,
I feel like I've been rambling, but
that's what we want, man.
That's exactly what we want.
We want you to do more of the talking than we do. We appreciate that, honestly.
I've had to tell people before, like, hey, like guys that I knew, I'm like, yo, you can be as comfortable as you want. Like, we need you to just talk. Like, I don't care what you say.
Yes, sir, man.
Cool. All right. I feel like
we appreciate you coming on. I know I wanted to just get into your mindset a little bit because we talked about you mentioned your competitiveness, and that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think about you as a player and just watching you as you've grown. But it's been fun to listen to your mindset and just kind of what makes you tick, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me and being willing to listen.
Absolutely.
Good luck this season. We'll be tuning in. You guys come down to Pueblo this year?
I'll see you around.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If you guys are down here,
you guys will. I promise. I'll be making some noise. You guys will.
Oh, we know.
Sure.
We know.
And
don't worry.
I'm close. So I'll be coming to for sure the BH Mines game, but I'll have to come over to watch some games.
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll be ready.
Good luck, man. We appreciate you.
Yep.
Kitchen Hook.
All right. See y'all. Have a good one.
You too. Good one. I didn't want to ask football because, the minute he said I haven't been paying attention, I was like,
yeah. When he went NBA, or when
we didn't
he wasn't
get that
going on
I was
the
like,
NBA conversation, I was like, he's not working.
He might have a player of the year type year. I'll be honest with you. Just talking to him.
He's a kid that he's gonna come in with a killer mindset. Like he's got that dog in him for sure.
And I'll be honest with you, I was gonna just leave that open just to Trevor and Matthew, but I'm putting Ollie in there as well. Like that's my top 3 for player of the year.
Fair enough. I love that.
I mean, he just has something about it. He has just talking to him, dude. He has something about him. Like he's ready to explode that first game and go crazy.
Man, I talk about what the scouting report was for a lot of these dudes, but that was the big emphasis for me is like, you guys don't understand. This kid is a dog. Like he is going to compete at the highest level all game long, whether he's playing well or not.
Facts. No, facts. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hilgs, since I do such a terrible job at breaking it down the last couple times, let's hear it. You end us out. Take us away. Take us away, Dom.
This is the Kitchen Hook Pod. Take it away, Dom. This is the Kitchen Hook Pod, baby. You know where to find us.
Yep.